महादेवसुतं महादेवसुतं गुरुगुहानुतं मानकोटि प्रकाशं शान्तं महादेवसुतं गुरुगुहानुतं मानकोटि प्रकाशं शान्तं महाकाव्यनाटकादिप्रियम् महाकाव्यनाटकादिप्रियं मूषिकवाहनमोदक प्रियं महाकाव्यनाटकादिप्रियं मूषिकवाहनमोदक प्रियं पापमगमरि सरि सनि सपमगमप ननि सरि गमरि सनि सनि पम सनि पमगमनि पमरुगमरि रि सनि पमगम सरि गम गणपतिं मनसा स्मरामि वसिष्ठ वामदेवादिवन्दित महागणपतिं मनसा स्मरामि। शरणं भव करुणामयि कुरु दीन दयाळो करुणारस वरुणालय कलिराज कृपाळो शरणं भव करुणामयि कुरु दीन दयाळो करुणारस वरुणालय कलिराज कृपाळो अधुना खलु विधिनामय सुदियासुरभरितम् अधुना खलु विधिनामय सुदियासुरभरितम् मधुसूदन मधुसूदन हरमामकर्षितम् शरणं भव करुणामयि कुरु दीन दयाळो करुणारस वरुणालय कलिराज कृपाळो वरणो पुरधर सुन्दर करशोभित बलया सुरभूसुर भयवारक धरणीधर कृपया वरणो पुरधर सुन्दर करशोभित बलया सुरभूसुर भयवारक धरणीधर कृपया त्वरया हर भरमीश्वर सुरभाग्यमदीयम् त्वरया हर भरमीश्वर सुरभाग्यमदीयम् मधुसूदन मधुसूदन हर मामकदुरितम् शरणं भव करुणामयि कुरु दीन दयाळो करुणारस वरुणालय कलिराज कृपाळो ऋणिमण्डल मणिकुण्डल फणिमण्डल शयना अणिमादि सुगुणभूषण मणिमण्टप सदना ऋणिमण्डल मणिकुण्डल फणिमण्डल शयना अणिमादि सुगुणभूषण मणिमण्टप सदना विनीता सुत घनवाहन मुनिमानस भवना विनीता सुत घनवाहन मुनिमानस भवना मधुसूदन मधुसूदन हर मामकदुरितम् शरणं भव करुणामयि कुरु दीन दयाळो करुणारस वरुणालय कलिराज कृपाळो हरिभीकर हरिसोदर परिपूर्ण सुखाब्धे नरकान्तक नरपालक परिपालित जलदे हरिभीकर हरिसोदर परिपूर्ण सुखाब्धे नरकान्तक नरपालक परिपालित जलदे हरि सेवक शिवराजा यनतीर्थ परात्मन् हरि सेवक शिवराजा यनतीर्थ परात्मन् मधुसूदन मधुसूदन हर मामक दुरितम् चरणं भव करुणामयि कुरु दीन दयालो करुणारस करुणालय करिराज कृपालो करिराज कृपालो करिराज कृपालो
Very good, very good.
रमेश भी ले जाओ ना।
केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः।
Before we start today's satsang, I have a couple of humble requests. Please, in order that we don't get disturbed, please turn off your cell phones so that everybody can enjoy quietly. And the second request is, after this satsang, before we start dinner, we are going to chant 15 chapters Bhagavad Gita 15th chapter. And after that, Swamiji will have Brahmarpanam. And please, everybody will start dinner after Swamiji is doing Brahmarpanam. So, my two humble requests. And please, it is good. It's good to have after the satsang to maintain the atmosphere. If you can talk very softly, that would be very much appreciated. Thank you very much. So today, Swamiji, everyone knows Swamiji. I don't have to tell you about Swamiji. But please, Swamiji, you can. Oh, oh, Ben. Can't change it yet. Jai Krishna. Oh, hi. Nie cię będzie.
Yeah, she's pregnant. Yes.
Nice ornament.
Beşe çubuğu.
Normally there is something in the kind also, but it's not here. Om Sahana
Sahaviryam Karavavai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
So Paresh Bhai told me that the topic this evening should be stress management. That was his desire.
Stress management. Oh,
What is it?
okay.
That's Stress usually arises when we are not in harmony with the prevailing rules or the prevailing realities. There is a certain harmony in our body, for example. As long as we maintain the harmony in terms of food, exercise and other habits, so long the body maintains health, good health, there is no stress. But when we violate that harmony in the body, in terms of its disposition, what kind of food suits it, what kind of habits are suitable, when we violate those things, then the body shows the signs of stress. In the mind also, the stresses come when we are not in tune with the realities of life. There are certain realities of life. Many of them we know, some of them we do not know. So two things are there in your life. One is not knowing what the reality is. The other is not gracefully accepting what it is. Very often we do not know what the law is, what the rule is, and we wind up violating it. And very often you know what the reality is, and still we do not accept. A lack of graceful acceptance of the reality is also a cause of stress. For example, in every situation, there are certain things that I can do, I can control, and there are many things that I cannot control. Like Parishwar just said, please switch off your cell phone. He cannot control that. Please speak softly. You can't control what others have to do. So that's the reality, that we cannot control what other people should do. We can only control what we can do. Similarly also, Lord Krishna tells us this basic rule. Karunanyavadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. To use the freedom as far as your effort is concerned, performing action is concerned, you have the freedom. You can control that, generally speaking. But you do not have the freedom to determine what the outcome is. It's a simple thing. Because an action is like releasing an arrow from the bow. And with all the freedom, until the arrow has left the bow, until then I have the freedom. What my target should be, and what other abilities and skills are required in terms of how much strength I should apply, whether I should do it or not. If I do, then how should I do that? What the target is, what the outcome, what the purpose is. So when I perform an action, there is always a purpose why I am performing the action. I have the freedom to prepare myself for accomplishing that purpose, perform the action which is compatible to accomplishing that purpose. It's all within our control. You leave home with the purpose of reaching this destination. The choices of what roads to take. So these choices are available to us, and we should exercise those choices in a very discerning manner, in a mature manner, informed manner. But as far as the outcome is concerned, once the arrow leaves the bow, then it is no more in my control. I am not going to carry that bow to hit the target. If I will control that, everyone will be champion in the Olympics. If you will control what the target is going to be, all shooting fellows, everybody will naturally want to meet the target. Then, if there is certainty, there is no stress. The outcome is uncertain. So number one, the effort is in my control. If I choose to exercise that control, then I can control the effort. Not always. Because when I am doing something, if I say it out of jealousy, out of anger, out of greed, so whenever I perform an action as prompted by anger, greed, jealousy, hatred, any one of these impulses, at that time, it is not I who controls what I am doing. It is my impulse that controls what I am doing. Meaning that very often, even though a choice is available to us, we are not always able to exercise our choice when our mind is not in our control. So of course, first thing is to have the mind under my control when I do something. And for that I should deliberate. Before doing something, what is the disposition of my mind? Am I doing it out of kama, out of passion, krodha, out of anger, lobha, out of greed? Am I doing this? What is the motivating impulse within me? What is motivating me to do this? Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Lord Krishna's inner enemies. Kama means passion, Krodha is anger, Lobha is greed, jealousies and hatred. So I have to ask myself, am I going to make the effort as prompted by emotional impulses, or the purpose of the effort is to do what is right thing to do? Thus, it is possible for me to control my efforts. But I cannot control the outcome of my effort. So then, what should be my attitude? What should be my attitude towards the outcome of an effort, which here represents something that I cannot control? Just as in any interaction, I cannot control what others have to do. I only control what I have to do. I cannot control what others will do or have to do. And similarly also, when I perform an action, I cannot control the outcome of the action. What should be the attitude towards what I cannot control? This is a very, very important thing, because this is one of the major causes of stresses. Is what I cannot control. Because I need to be in control. That's my need. My ego always wants to be in control. It has its own specific likes and dislikes. It likes this and doesn't like that. The ego likes success and does not like failure. It likes honor, doesn't like dishonor. It wants praise, doesn't want censure. Want comfort, doesn't want discomfort. So I have very specific likes and dislikes. What I like, what I do not like. And that is what comes in the way of my relating to what I cannot control. If I have no likes and dislikes, everything was fine. You honor me, I'm happy. Dishonor me, is alright with me. Praise me, good. Say you criticize me, alright. If I succeed, good. Don't succeed, alright. Meaning that whatever the outcome is equally acceptable to me, then there is no stress at all. Because I'm ready to accept whatever comes. But when I want a given thing should come, a given outcome should come, and other outcomes should not come, then I hit the arrow. My arrow should necessarily hit the target. And otherwise, I feel I'm a failure. I condemn myself. I feel frustrated. I feel miserable. There is all stress. Therefore, coming to the question of releasing the arrow from the bow, I have the freedom to determine what the target should be. I have the freedom. And I should have to determine also what the target of my action is. What the purpose of the action is, I have the choice. To prepare myself for accomplishing that purpose, I have the choice. To choose the right time and place and effort, also I have the choice. And that is my responsibility. But Lord Krishna says, Karmanyavadikaraste, you the adhikara means you the responsibility to perform what is the right kind of action. That's our responsibility. I should take the responsibility for what I have to do. But I have no adhikara, I have no responsibility as far as the outcome is concerned. I can't control it. Therefore, what is meant is, what you cannot control, gracefully accept what you cannot control. We get frustrated when the outcome is not what we want. Sometimes we are angry, sometimes we are frustrated. If I hold someone else responsible for my failure, I get angry at that person. If I hold myself responsible for my failure, I get angry at myself. So when things do not go the way I want them, basically I am angry. Anger is the result of not having my way. I want always to have my way. If it doesn't go my way, I get upset. Towards somebody else, towards myself, only the stresses. Therefore Lord Krishna says, Siddhya Siddhyo Samo Bhutva Samatvam Yoga Uchyate. Siddhya Siddhyo. It's alright. I can't control that.
Depends on where it came from.
Sit at the end, then near the door, so you don't disturb anybody. It's like that you have to answer something important. You should be in a place where you can go out and talk so that you don't disturb others. See, all that disturb the train of thinking and everything, that becomes the distraction to everybody. Siddha Siddhyo Samo Bhutva Samatvam Yoga Uchyate. Siddha Siddhyo Samo Bhutva may become even-minded with reference to Siddhi and Siddhi, success and failure. May become even-minded with reference to success or failure. What's the even-mindedness? Success is success and failure is failure. I can't look upon them as the same. But my attitude should be the same. May we have an attitude of even-mindedness towards success and failure. Because success I cannot control, failure I cannot control. And what I cannot control, I should be ready to gracefully accept what I cannot control. Our Swamiji says very beautifully, a very beautiful way to relate to the outcome. He says, look, whenever something comes from the altar of the Lord, it is called prasada. What you make an offering is called naivedya. And what comes from the altar is called prasada. So now, you have made an offering of action to the Lord. You can do that. While performing an action, to have this attitude that this action is offered to the Lord. May the Lord be pleased with this action. That becomes an offering to the Lord. In which case, it becomes a naivedya. Now the Lord decides what the outcome should be. In what way does He decide? The laws, of nature, the laws of karma. These laws decide what the outcome should be. Our Swamiji beautifully says that who is the Lord? Lord is manifest as the whole universe. The Lord is manifest as the very laws. So very laws of cause and effect are the manifestation of the Lord Himself. And the result is always in keeping with these laws. We may not know all the laws, so we may not know why a given outcome is like this. We may not know. Because we do not know all the variables. Sometimes we know some variables, sometimes we do not know. Sometimes you know, you can account for them. Sometimes you know, you can't control them. So you're preparing for a weekend, go to the beach, for example. You can plan everything, whether it will rain, what the weather will be. All this we cannot control. Now suppose you are ready to leave the home and there is a shower, If you feel frustrated, angry, and all kinds of stuff, that's your problem. Because there is something that you cannot control. So what do? All right, could not go to the beach. What else? What are the choices? There is a lot of choices. But if I insist that whatever I want should happen and nothing else, there's no choice for me. However, this reality, what is the reality? that I cannot control the outcome of an effort, that being the case, is only proper that I gracefully accept the outcome. What it means is, I should not brand. See, failure is not a problem, understand? You know what's the problem? The problem always is I. The solution also lies with I. Success has happened. Your objective is success, well and good. Failure, well and good. When not objective, when success happens, I am successful, and I feel elated, I feel proud, I congratulate myself. Then if failure comes, I am a failure. Then I get frustrated with myself. I condemn myself. Therefore, even success and failure are also not a problem. Only when something gets connected to I, then alone it becomes a problem, and then it can become a solution also. So, when failure gets connected to I, the failure becomes a problem. Otherwise, outcome did not come as I want. All right, that's also okay. I think I can't always control everything. I cannot decide what should happen. And therefore, willingness to accept gracefully what I cannot control. So Lord gave me the serenity to accept gracefully what I cannot change, what I cannot control. A very, very important thing to keep in mind as far as our day-to-day life is concerned, because we get frustrated in no time. I'm expecting a telephone call, doesn't come. I don't want a telephone call, it comes. Things keep on happening. Because in every situation I have a demand of what should be and what should not be. More demanding I am, more problems I have with reference to frustration and anger. And more demanding I am, more concerned I am, because the outcome becomes very important to me. I always judge myself based on the outcome. Outcome is favorable, I judge myself as a successful, as an acceptable person to myself. Understand that basically I have a problem with myself. What is the problem? That I always keep judging myself. And very often I do not approve of myself. I do not accept myself. I brand myself as not acceptable, as a failure. So that connection has to be severe, and that's all we have to do. What happens out there is not a problem. What happens out there is connected to me. I take the ownership of success and failure. If my happiness depends upon success, then failure is going to make me unhappy, definitely. Now when happiness comes, thank you Lord, it is a prasada. That time the prasada happens to be nice, sweet, laddu, panda, whatever. If things do not want the way I want, that's also prasada. Sometimes bitter, sometimes it is sour. Okay? Comes from Ishvara, comes from the Lord. And therefore, willingness to gracefully accept what I cannot change is the first rule. So, we will learn. How do we learn this? Every time I get to understand that what is stress? Anger is stress. Frustration is stress. Fear is stress. Anxiety is stress. Jealousy is stress. Greed is, all these are stresses. Stress is a very general thing. But all of these are manifestation of stresses. Alright? When I become frustrated in a situation, I get angry at a situation. Ask myself, why am I frustrated? Why am I angry? Because what I wanted did not happen. I wanted things to happen in a certain way. They did not happen that way. I must have my way. So I must tell myself, calm down. You cannot always have your way. Ishvara has his own way. The world has its own way. and I cannot demand that I should control everything. Therefore, I bow down. This is called surrender. Surrendering my will, surrendering my demand to the will of Ishvara. But Ishvara's will in terms of different laws. And we should be pretty certain that laws are always fair, they are always impartial. Ishvara is not punishing me, he is only giving me the outcome appropriate to my effort. The Swamiji, I work so hard. Look at that person. How much they are getting. And in spite of my so much, I am not getting this, that, etc. Well, I said, that judgment also I leave to Ishvara. Because, number one, there is fairness in this creation. Now, still it happens that in spite of making efforts, working hard, we do not always get the desired outcome. Should we conclude that Bhagavan is unfair to us? When pain comes in our life, should we conclude that he is punishing me? No. So this is where Ishvara comes and Shraddha comes. That he does not punish me. He is always my well-wisher. And therefore, whatever he does has some blessing. Sometimes blessing is very clear open, sometimes it is in disguise. But looking upon every situation as a blessing from Ishvara. Situation is pleasant, is open blessing. Unpleasant, a blessing in disguise. So accepting situation is accepting Ishvara. Accepting Ishvara means accepting the fact that he is fair. Accept the fact that he is my well-wisher. So Lord Krishna says, Surudam Sarvabhutanam, I am the Surut, I am the well-wisher of all the beings. Why should he want to punish me? Why should he be an enemy of anybody? Well-wisher, because everything is his creation. Whatever, he wishes well of everybody. But Swamiji, if he wishes well, then why this pain is coming to me? Why me? That we don't know. Why me? We do not know. Why do painful things happen? We do not know. We wish they do not happen. But there is pleasure and pain, success and failure, honor and dishonor. Meaning that this life is made up of what we call dvandva or pairs of opposites. There is day, there is night. There is birth, there is death. There is heat, there is cold. There is honor, dishonor. Success, failure. So like the two sides of a coin, our life is made up of this dvandva or pairs of opposites. We cannot avoid. Therefore, if we dance to the tune of what happens out there, they'll keep on always. Success means jump up, failure means I get frustrated. Even 50-50, that's all right, but that's not the case. And most, big problem is uncertainty. If I know that the effort is going to fail, then I may prepare for it, but I always want success and I don't know what will happen. Even while doing something, there is always an anxiety. Will I get what I want? Will I be successful or not? Because I demand that I should be successful. So don't make the demand upon yourself. Don't demand that you should always be successful. You are also a limited being. And therefore you cannot always be perfect. You are not omniscient, you are not all-knowing. You are not omnipotent, you are not all-powerful. Sometimes you know things, but you don't have power to control. So your power, you don't know what it is. So I used to give an example of this physics professor who knows all the laws and everything. One day he has climbed up the mango tree and plucked some mangoes, uses a grip and falls down from a tall tree. Now we know that what acceleration is falling down is 32.2 feet per second per second. He knows that. Nothing he can do. So sometimes we know, but we have no power. Some we have power, but we don't know. When the earthquake is, so a lot of things are there, we do not know when will that happen, if they will happen. So we have limitation in power, limitation in knowledge. We are limited beings. So we cannot demand that I should be right all the time. I cannot demand that I should not fail any time. I cannot demand that I should be perfect all the time. This is a very unreasonable demand from our own self, and that is a big cause of stress. Demanding from myself. Therefore, accepting myself. A successful I is also okay, and failure also is okay. I need not connect myself. Success also is given by Ishvara. Failure also is decided. So in failure also, there must be some blessing in disguise. What is it? I don't know. When will it come? I don't know. But we have trust in the fairness. That when I make an effort, it cannot go in vain. The outcome may not come the way I want. It may come in a different way. It will come. So, thus, Shraddha, or trust in Ishvara. And therefore, surrendering our will to the will of Ishvara in situations that I cannot control. That I can control, I must be in my right mind. Make sure that it is not jealousy that is prompting me. It is not anger that is prompting me. It is not one of these impulses that is prompting me to do things, because then I wind up doing the wrong things. So while doing things, I follow the law. While accepting the result, also I follow the law. What's the law? When I do things, that I do not get controlled by my impulses, that I use my free will. In Swamiji's words, in every situation, there are two things. What is right to do and what I like to do. What is right to do, what I like to do. Very often, what I like to do is not what is right to do. The pizza is there in front of me, what I like to eat is one thing, but it's good for my stomach, a different thing. Then, the ability to control oneself, to do what is right, whether I like it. Therefore, generally, our need and requirement to do what I like, even controls what I do. So when we surrender ourselves to our likes and dislikes, then stress is going to happen. Because very often there is a violation of law. When I violate the law, I get violated. This also you must have heard. Our Swamiji says that when you rub against something, you get rubbed in turn. So with your shirt removed, there is a tree with a rough bark, and you rub your back against that, you're going to be rubbed. So also there is dharma, the law. You rub yourself against that, you're going to be rubbed. Ever follow dharma. Do what is right to do. So violation of what is right is called dharma. Dharma means what is right thing to do in a given situation. So when I violate that law, there is going to be stress. And therefore, a commitment to do what is right, whether I like it or not. Not easy. But at least we can train ourselves. Not only that, but whenever stress comes, then I should ask, did I do what is right, or did I do what I liked? We immediately find that by violating what is right, will definitely cause stress. So, karmanyavadikaraste, when you make an effort, number one, make a commitment to do what is right. Whether you like it or not. But you know what will happen? When I keep on doing what is right, then something will happen. What will happen? That you start liking what is right. Really? Again, I keep on remembering our Swamiji, but then he's famous example of that Kerala, At one point in time, many years ago, when Swamiji was young, he did not care whether it's bitter or gourd, because it's bitter. And particularly in Tamil Nadu, the way they make bitter gourd is real bitter. In Gujarat, when they make bitter gourd, you don't even know it's bitter because they will put so much jaggery in there, and then they will fry all kinds of all bitterness is gone. And it will get so sweet, you know. But not in Tamil Nadu. They don't even, you know, number one, that bitter gourd is very, very, they don't overcook. So it is essentially green, retaining its taste of bitterness. People like it, but you know, many people don't like. Swami didn't care for that. But when he was invited to Bhiksha, then several vegetables were made. Bitter gourd was one of them. So Swami's policy is deal with unpleasant first. You have to avoid stress, deal with unpleasant first. So then you can enjoy the pleasant later on. So dessert is always last, not in the beginning. You know? So you first use other things so that you can enjoy the dessert. With that policy, you finish that bitter gourd. So then I can enjoy other things. And of course the hostess is watching. Oh, Swami likes me. In India they don't even wait to ask you. They just serve. Poor Swami cannot say, I don't like it. Now you can't say that. Swami is not surprised. I don't like it. You can So then he finished that also. 2, 3, 4 helpings that evening happened. But he did not stop there because next day Swami was going to Bhiksha in another place. So they asked always the previous one, what does Swami like? Oh, he likes bitter gourd. Bitter gourd, wherever he goes, bitter gourd is waiting for him. In Delhi, thus he had 15 days lectures. Morning, evening, morning, evening, morning, evening. Kerala. As a result, he started liking it. Because when you keep doing something which is right for you, then a time comes that what is right also becomes what you like. Not always you like what you do, but what is right, you keep on doing it. A time comes when you start liking it also. Therefore, a commitment to do what is right, even though it is unpleasant, it is bitter. In course of time will come. It takes the whole lifetime by the way. Can several lifetime also can come and then be required. But a time will come when what is right is what I like. That's a great accomplishment in life. If what is right is what you like, no conflict at all. The basic conflict is what? What I like is not what is right. Stress. Conflict creates the stress. Conflict with the law creates the stress. So while doing things, the stress comes from number one, that very often what is right is not what I like, then there is a conflict and stress. Number two, while doing something, I demand from myself that I must be successful, I cannot accept a failure But since I know that I cannot control the outcome, I don't know whether the outcome will be success or failure. It's always anxiety. What will happen? Will I be successful or not? Will I get what I want or not? So this effort causes success. Causes stress for these two reasons. One, very often, what is right is not in keeping with what I like. Number two, I demand that outcome should be what I want, and unwillingness to accept an unpleasant outcome. Unwillingness on our part to gracefully accept the unpleasant. If you realize what Swami used to say, you teach our children, look, unpleasantness also is a reality of life. You cannot demand that everything should be pleasant, everything should be what you like. Therefore, I'm ready to do something. Unpleasant, okay, I'll accept it. So it's to say, when you are about to make an effort, ask yourself, am I ready for failure? Am I ready for failure? If you're not ready, then stop. Think. What will happen if you're failure? Can you deal with that? Can you deal with failure? Ask. Not that I should be prepared, I don't have to work for failure. I work for success. But the thing is, can I handle the failure? Can I deal with failure? If I cannot deal, give yourself some time to prepare yourself. The things may not go the way I want. May not work out the way I want. I'm going to brand myself. I'm going to condemn myself. I'm going to make myself miserable. So who makes me miserable? Myself. By not accepting gracefully the realities of life. Unpleasantness also is a reality. And failure is unpleasant. Dishonor is unpleasant. Criticism unpleasant. Things that I do not like unpleasant. But it's going to happen. It can happen. Willingness to accept the unpleasant also. It's a very important willingness to gracefully accept the unpleasant. Willingness to accept gracefully what I do not like. How do you gracefully accept? Well, that's what Ishvara likes. And his life is more important to me than my life. Because he knows what is right for me, I may not know. You see, what happens is, when we demand that the outcome should be only a given thing which I call success, do I necessarily know that it is best for me? You don't know. And never, what is success right now, what seems to be beneficial to me, I don't know what its effect will be after 5 years or 10 years. So you must have heard this story, which we used to tell our children, the story of a king and a minister. Minister was a wise person. He was a devotee of Ishvara. And therefore, he was surrendered to Ishvara. Whatever Ishvara does is good. So once when the king and the minister were sitting and talking, a servant brought some very nice, ripe, delicious mango in a plate before the king. So usually the mango is served the king, usually cut and prepared and served. But today king says, no, I want to do it myself. So he says, bring a knife. When he started cutting the mango, poor fellow had never done this. He cut his finger into a mango, and this part of the finger is gone. His finger is bleeding. Habitually, minister said, oh, whatever happens is for good. He says, what? This is good? He calls him, gone, throw him into prison. So he's thrown into prison. And of course, part of the finger is gone and all the, dressing, everything is done. Or 10, 15 days may have passed. So the, what do you call it? The bandage is still there, but otherwise there is no pain. So then king says, well, I have not gone out for a long time, let me go for hunting. Takes his team for hunting. He's riding his horse and his team is following him and he sees a deer. And starts chasing the deer, and the deer runs fast and takes him to a deep forest and disappears. And the king is in the middle of nowhere. He's separated from the retinue. He doesn't know what to do, where to go. He's so hungry, he's so tired. Sees a nice tree in the shade, he takes rest and falls asleep. He's woken up by the sounds of bugles. He saw that. He just woke up from the sleep, found that he was surrounded by some tribal people, who were all with their bows and arrows and then they're blowing on their horns. And what happened? They all slowly narrowed on to him and says, well, we've come to arrest you. What happened? So you'll find out. What was happening is that remote village, they did not rain for the last 5 years. So one of their priests told them, that if you sacrifice, perform a fire ritual, and sacrifice a perfect man, then you have rains. King, you are king, you are perfect, and therefore tomorrow you're going to sacrifice you. They take him, give him bath and do all kinds of things, and feed him well and nice clothes and ornaments, and next morning is raining. The priest has his sword in his hand. Before that, say, this won't work, this won't work. What happened? He's not perfect. So there is a defect here. A part of his finger is cut off. This is not fit for sacrifice. At least he says, wow. And he was released and found his way to his kingdom and came back after a few days and then called everybody to the court. So look, that day I was upset with the minister because I said what Ishvara does is right, but it turned out to be right. Call him. So the minister is called. Now what happened is, when the minister was thrown in prison, then also they said, whatever God does is right. So king says, what is right in that? You are thrown in prison, what is right in that? He says, look, he tells the king, when you went for hunting, I would have accompanied you, is it not so? If I was out, yeah. When you chased that deer, I would have been with you, isn't it? Yes. So both of us would have been lost in the forest, right? Both of them would have been caught by those soldiers, yes? And if they rejected you for sacrifice, who will be the next one? So this is a story. Whatever happens, happens for good. Now that requires a lot of trust, a lot of devotion that is required. More we have, Shraddha and Ishvara, more we can accept what he does. Because he knows what is right. That's a matter of Shraddha, faith. I may not know. So when I make a desire, when I have a desire, when I make a demand, it presupposes that I know what is right for me. The Bhakta says, no, Ishvara knows better what is right for me. So a devotee accepts whatever Ishvara gives gracefully. So unpleasant, he knows what is right for me. Sometimes, because the pain also is required sometimes. Pain also comes in life to mold us. So accepts it. So unpleasantness, pain also is accepted by a devotee, by Bhakta, because it comes from Ishvara. Knowing that, so child accepts everything that the mother does. Everything. Total trust in that. Now she has grown up so that, but until there's a point when the child is infant. Total trust. What the mother does is right. Sometimes we push medicine and it doesn't like it, but still it takes it because it comes from mother. Similarly, Ishvara is mother, and sometimes gives bitter medicine also. Thus, gracefully accepting on those things that I may not like, with a trust that even though I do not like it at present, I'm sure that there is something good involved in it. Maybe it comes to teach me some lesson, comes to mold me, comes to make me more mature, make me stronger. So maybe pain comes to make me stronger. Pleasure comes to give encouragement. Pain comes to make me stronger. So thus when we learn to accept gracefully the outcome, one cause of stress is gone. Number two, when there is a commitment to do what is right. Even if I do not like, there's another cause of stress gone. Two important causes of stress. The effort also causes stress, and the outcome also causes stress. Effort can cause stress when I'm not in tune with what is right, and basically when I know what I've done is not right, leaves a sense of guilt in me, and that is stress. Outcome also causes stress, I do not gracefully accept it. So karmanyavadikaraste mahaphaleshikaraṣana. Karma and phala, effort and outcome. What I can control, what I cannot control. In a situation when I can control something, what is my responsibility? To do what is right. When I cannot control, what is my attitude? To accept gracefully what I cannot control. And God gives the wisdom to know the difference. What I can control and what I cannot control. I should know what the boundaries are. I can control the effort, I cannot control the outcome. So Lord Krishna says, do not take the responsibility for what you cannot control. Take responsibility for what you can control. That's an effort. Do not take responsibility for what you cannot control. That's the outcome. It's all situations other than outside of myself. We cannot control anything. Children, as long as they're infant, at the most you can control. Once they grow up, so this little one, so our mother had chosen some dresses and things, So says, get this for my daughter. But she says, I don't like them. She also sees online this little child. She sees the dress online. I don't like this. She has her own choice. So we can't even control our own child. Let alone a teenager. That's impossible. And that being the case, we have to accept our limitations. What we can control and what we cannot control. So two things can cause stress. Number one, there are other things also, but today we focused on two. One is the effort, karma, other is the karma phala, yoga. The right attitudes. Attitude of what is being right in effort and graceful acceptance in the outcome. That's what are the solutions for the stresses in our life. Other than also, another important cause is the relationship. Relationships can cause a lot of stresses. In the relationship, again, what causes stress, is the expectation that we have again from the other person is what causes conflict and stress. That usually you want to control the other person. Husband wants to control the wife, and wife wants to control the husband. Father wants to control the son, son wants to control the father. Everybody wants to control everybody else. People always want to be always in control. We cannot, we cannot control others. We should not control others also. Our Swamiji says, give the world the freedom and enjoy the freedom. But what the freedom is? They are all individuals. They have their own likes and dislikes. This is what they like? Fine. Is it acceptable to me? Good. Not acceptable? Ishvara's prasada. Acceptable? It's sweet prasada. Not acceptable? Bitter gourd. So in relation, it's not going to happen that I like everything about the person I'm related to. It's not possible. Nobody can ever fulfill even Bhagavan cannot fulfill my expectations. How can any human beings can fulfill that? Only dogs can fulfill. So basically, we have no problem in relating to pets, by the way. For the simple reason that they don't have, they don't have any great demand. Their demand is something you can easily fulfill. And when there is simple demand, when there is that, they're always predictable. As Swami used to say, when this man, comes back from work in the evening, he's quite sure about how his dog will welcome. The master comes, the dog comes jumping up. Know that he's going to get some biscuits and things like that. But he can never be sure of how his wife or how his spouse will be treated. Because he has freedom. His vice versa also, of course. So the point is that human being has a free will. Has his or her own likes and dislikes. Every individual is their likes and dislikes. That's what I am is my likes and dislikes. What others are is their likes and dislikes. Two packets of likes and dislikes are relating to understand. Now, it's not going to happen that the likes and dislikes match. So again, my demand that things should go the way I want. More demanding I am, more stresses are going to be. Because less is acceptance. More demanding I am, less accepting I am of what is. Less demanding I am, more flexible I am to accept what is. Therefore, is flexibility in relationship. Recognizing that it is not possible for others to fulfill all my likes and dislikes. I want. That's why the relationships are there anyway. But each one will fulfill the likes and dislikes of others. That's great. That's the whole idea. Husband and wife. So this new married couple comes. for blessing of Swamiji. Swamiji, what is the duty of husband and wife? Simple. Wife should make the husband happy. Husband should make wife happy. How do you make them happy? Wife should do what the husband likes, should not do what he doesn't like. Husband should do what the wife likes, should not do what she doesn't like. That's how simple to do. But it doesn't happen that way. What is right? What I like. What is right? What the other person likes is what is right for me. What I like is a different thing. So again, a conflict between what is right. In a relationship, what is right is what the other person likes. In every relationship, not only husband and wife, every relationship. If you want to nurture and nourish that relationship, then try to do what the other person likes. Including a dog and a cat, give them the food that they like. They also are choosy these days, and so they'll be unhappy if you don't give them the right thing, which we always do. A dog always controls me. Swami wakes me up at 5 o'clock in the morning, because he wants to go out. Doesn't let me sleep. Then I do that. If his child wakes him up at 5 o'clock, then there's a different thing. So when we are really prepared, we are not upset. I'm not upset if the dog even wakes me up at 5 o'clock. If I want my child to behave in a certain way, it can upset me easily. So more expectations we have, more chance of getting upset or angry or frustrated. A relationship can cause a lot of stress. Because you're stuck with each other. Closer relationship is greater the possibility of conflict. Who can really make me unhappy? The person who is close to me is the cause of all more unhappiness than the person not close. Because I don't care what other person does. When you're close to somebody, then there are more expectations. More the expectations, more the possibilities of expectation not being fulfilled. And therefore, more the possibility of conflict and stress. So in relationship, again, what I cannot control is who I relate to. So gracefully accepting the other person. What is meant by that is other people are what they are. Sometimes they don't even have a choice. Even if the other person wants to please me, they're not always possible to do that. They may not be capable of doing or not willing to do also. And so give them that freedom. Give them a certain space. Give each one the space in which they can be comfortable. Let us not encroach upon the space of other people. Let us not encroach on the comfort of other people. Give them the space and comfort. Otherwise, into frustration anyway, because you can't change another person anyway. Swami, you thought that I can change everybody, says, Swami used to say, I thought I can change anybody, but my disciples have taught me. My disciples taught me that I can't change anybody. So we cannot change unless the person wants to change. If they want to change, you can help them change. You can't change them. They have to change themselves, but you can help them. If they don't see the need of change, so you keep seeing the need of the change of the other person. He doesn't see that he or she, then it won't work. You can negotiate that. Then you can negotiate. All right, now this is what I will do. I have given you your choice. That's what you do. The contract. Give me the choice. Negotiate and come to an understanding so that every time these conflicts do not happen. All right. So this we have decided the big decisions I make and small decisions my wife makes. What's the big deal? Who should be president of the United States? I decide. I decide. What should we cook? My wife decides. What should I dress? My wife decides. So division of labor is very simple. Let them decide and do it. I don't like it. Whether you like it or not, doesn't matter. Oh, I don't like what you cook. Okay, that's all she can cook. That's all she knows how to do. So husband and wife, of course, is the cause of greatest stress. There's a closer relationship. And therefore, most stress can come from there. But every relationship causes stress when there is expectation or demand. As to what even a child should do or demand, she'll make sure that she doesn't do. These days, of course, they know what Swamiji wants. And If she then decides to tease Swami, they will do the other way around, it's okay. Therefore, help them change, help them. If you think that the person should change, don't demand that they should change. Create an atmosphere when they are motivated to change. Change can happen only when a person himself or herself is motivated, not otherwise. What we can try to do is to create the motivation for that person. And you know how that happens? More caring you are with a person. If you care for somebody, that always the message is received, the person cares for me. If somebody cares for us, it is naturally response of also returning that care, usually, unless the person is very hardened and stuff like that. Usually, that much sensitivity is there. When I find somebody is caring for me, then I want to return that favor. So therefore, how to create an atmosphere of change? By caring, by doing what is right for us, and leaving the other person to learn what is right for them in course of time. Hopefully, a harmony will be established. So relationship causes stress by demands and expectations. In general, it is all expectation that causes stress everywhere. Expectation that I should be successful causes stress. Expectation that the outcome should be pleasant causes stress. Expectation that the other person should do what I want causes stress. Expectations cause stress. Whenever stress comes, disappointment comes, unhappiness comes, ask, what did I expect? What is it that did not go my way? Can I change my expectation? Can I drop it? Less expectations you have, happier you are. No expectation, totally happy. That's how Lord Krishna describes. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogata. When he gives up all the kama, means expectation. The wise person, the one, is free from all expectations. He can only try to give up expectation. In this case, it has gone away. In our case, we will try to give up the expectations. Recognizing that I don't have freedom, then my expectations. If your expectation then also is okay. But ask yourself, am I ready if my expectation is not fulfilled? Am I ready? Then have it. If the fulfillment of expectation is very important, then to think about it. Whether have that expectation or not. So expectations are basic cause of stress. Expectation of others, expectation of myself. Others should do what I want them to do. From myself, I must always be right, perfect, successful. So these expectations of myself, of others, they are the cause of anxieties, fear, stresses.
Beautiful, Swami.
Question. You are પછી ઉભીલા એને ગરમ કરવું છે અરે ભાઈ
Sometimes the expectations are good also because of the expectation, a lot of progress is made. People have no expectation of themselves. They will not work as hard as they would if they had expectation.
You have expectation whether you want it or not. It's not an expectation. You always have them. You don't have to create expectation. You always have an expectation of ourselves. That I should be successful. I should be honored. I should be wealthy. I should name. Everybody has expectations this for them from themselves. They always have. You don't have to create them. If you don't have, you're happy. No progress. What does it matter? Progress is not the sign of happiness. Happiness is a sign of progress. So whether you progress or not, whether you're happy or not is important. If you don't have expectation, you're happy, then what was the purpose and reason of progress anyway? Progress ultimately is meant to make you happy. The very progress makes you unhappy. What's the point in that progress? So if you can remain free from expectation, remain happy with yourself as you are, happy with the way things are, no progress is required.
See, I will think of a larger scale.
Yeah.
In the case of, say, Prime Minister Modi, right?
Yes.
Now, he works very hard so that he expects that he himself, during his tenure, should do a lot of good things for the country.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good expectation. I meant that.
That's all. That is not expectation.
Yeah.
That is called prayojanam. That is the purpose. Expectation is what I want should happen. It's one thing to plan and have a prayojanam is a purpose. What the purpose is for me to do. What is expectation? That I should be able to do this in 5 years, in 10 years. That is called an expectation. I want to do is one thing. I have to do is another. I want to do this fine. That you should have. But expectation that what I want should happen, that's where the problem is. And the opposition makes sure that it doesn't, his schemes don't work out. That's all. That is their agenda. So understand that when Lord Krishna says you should not asakti or attachment to the outcome, he is not a plan for outcome. When you release an arrow from your bow, it is always a target. And you must always have the expectation to meet with that, hit the target. So that purpose is there. No action can be without purpose. So what is expectation is that my purpose should be served. I should be able to do this. They should do this. I should do this to serve my purpose. Their expectations. But effort, of course, and progress will happen because expectations are always there. Always sense of responsibility is there in everybody in some way or the other. Some people feel that they're responsible for the whole world, so every problem anywhere in the world they will be to that problem. And then, so they want to do something. Everybody is a circle of concern, Some narrow circle, wider circle, very wide circle. So depending upon your circle of concern, you will have expectations. Now for a Prime Minister, the whole country is a matter of concern. So naturally, lots of things are included in there. For ourselves, maybe just my and my family, that's all maybe there. But as far as that circle of concern is concerned, there will be expectations with there, which are determined by my circle of concern. You follow? If my circle of concern is just very narrow, then very few things will affect me. The more the concern is, the more I will be concerned about. So, therefore, what I want to do is determined by what my circle of concern is. So, what you want to do is one thing. What you demand is a different thing. So, in the interviews that they were taking of our Modi ji, before election, सब क्या बनना चाहते हैं? हम कुछ बनना नहीं चाहते हैं, हम कुछ करना चाहते हैं. So what do you want to become? I don't want to become something, I want to do something. So I want to win election not to become something, to do something. That's the concern. Stress already. Because the target is fixed, I must leave at 8 o'clock. That's all I have the time I have assigned for this. Whether this Swamiji complete or not, keep on looking at the watch.
I'm late, 23 minutes.
That's what I'm saying. Even here she was looking at, she must have one of these Google watches or something.
Apple Watch.
Apple Watch. So I don't know whether you're watching, looking for the email or the time or what, or something she's looking at. That causes stress to me also. Here I'm talking and here is looking somewhere else. My talk is not important to her.
I thought I was being subtle about it.
And so that is how causes stress
That's
to
not
me.
what happened. It turned on by itself.
How can it turn by itself?
It's on, see?
But if you have programmed it,
No, I don't know how to
you can always turn
I
it
can
off.
barely use the watch.
No, but you can always turn it off.
I don't know how to
It's
turn
like the cell phone. It can be turned off. Is it not so?
Don't turn it off. No.
Then you put it away. It's a distraction.
My time has expired. Leela's about to explode. She has a little fever.
Huh?
Leela has a small fever.
Mm.
Clearly, I'm not in charge anymore.
I know.
Prasad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh. I have stress because I have to read it. Writing is very small. Yeah, she's done.
So basically, life cannot be without stress. Everybody has a stress. We can minimize it, but we cannot eliminate it.
Only a wise person can eliminate it totally. The basic thing here is you cannot give up likes and dislikes just as you want. You have to take up a program of the inner growth or evolution. The spiritual solution is spiritual. The more you evolve from within yourself, more comfortable you are with yourself, less demand and expectation are there, less likes and dislikes are there. A wise person evolves completely, so it's free from all likes and dislikes, or all demands. So in the beginning it's an intellectual thing, but as we keep entertaining the attitude, we grow along with the attitude. In the beginning it's a value that I should eat bitter gourd whether I like it or not. In course of time, what you like also is what is right. So that, whatever stage of time that is, that's the process of growth, where I constantly try to change my mind to do what is right and drop what I like, if it is not what is right. So willingness to drop my likes and dislikes to do what is right gives me a chance to give up likes and dislikes. And then when we do something right, we always feel happy. See, sometimes what is right is not what I like, so I do what I like by impulse. Later I regret. I wish I had not done it. By controlling my impulse, if I do what is right, it will be painful at that time. I feel good about myself. Yeah, I've done something good. I feel good about myself. So that's your happiness. And more you do, more and more good you feel about yourself, and happier you are, less stressful you are.
In the context of business and industry, at times doing the right thing may have negative consequences for your career or your future.
For your business.
Not your own business. You are an employer. For example, companies like Valiant Pharmaceutical, they acquire drugs at one price and then they shoot up the prices by 10 times before selling. Now you are in charge of implementing that program. Morally, you think it's absolutely wrong thing to do, but that's your job.
No, but as long as you don't identify with that I'm doing it is a different thing, I'm doing it that represent, they are doing it through me. Now, Bada Swami used to give an example of an ambassador, he represents the country. And whatever the best interest of the country is what represents that. Whether personally likes it or not is a different thing. But because he represents that, he should do what is right for what the country desires him to do. So you are a representative. More ego you bring in that I am doing it, then of course more stresses are there. This is what the situation demands for me to do. That's what they want me to do. All right. Then also you can always pray to Ishvara. That Lord Ishvara, Lord, I'm doing this. Please help me. But we have a commitment. There is an agenda. Basic agenda is I should have my job. So when that agenda is there, then a lot of things are automatically determined by that agenda. If I will give up my job, no problem. Then I'll be in the streets, so that also I can't afford. So there are constraints in our life. We have limitations with ourselves. See, what is doing right requires inner strength. It is lack of that which makes us do what is not right. So we recognize that, okay, this is my limitation. God, this is what I have to do. I'm sorry. I'll do this, this, this. I'll do 5 malas for what I'm doing right now.
When somebody, like when you get married, the other partner has more emotion. So when there's a more emotion, they have more demand. So even though your life is stressless, in order to fulfill the demand of the emotion, you're going to be stressed. What are the ways how you can manage that?
So let us say that you get married to a person who is emotionally demanding person. When you say emotion, it means demanding. And you try your best and still you cannot fulfill the demand. So now again we tell ourselves that my commitment is to do what best I can do. I do not demand from myself that I can fulfill all the demands of the other person because I have a limitation. Other person has a limitation also because that other person also has all needs. When you say demands all come from inner needs, but emotional needs are there. Each person did not receive love when they were growing up. And that the way they are treated and the way their samskaras are there, people are what they are. And so some people are very touchy, some people are very sensitive, some people are very demanding. Everybody comes with a package. 2 packages, they get married to each other. That's what it is. And so lots of baggage, everybody brings their baggage with them.
I know.
Yeah, exactly. We can do the best that we can. Okay.
Very good. Okay,
Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.